Hi, I wanted to jump on here and talk about the latest film that's out on Elvis, and it is lost footage found from his performance at the International Hotel in Las Vegas. It's by Baz Luhrmann, and it is 96 minutes long, called EPiC Elvis in Concert. And let me say, I've seen it 4 times. I went to 3 matinees and 1 evening performance, and it is so amazing. I saw it once in IMAX, and let me tell you, that takes it to a whole nother level. To see Elvis on that 70-foot screen was crazy. I actually saw some footage from the Forum when I got to see him live in 1974. There was a shot of the interior of the Forum, and that made me gasp. It was like time had compressed. But I want to talk about the film because a lot of people are excited about this. It's actually turning younger audiences onto Elvis music now. I know that the soundtrack is out. I cannot wait to own this. Let me say that the last showing, I was able to get tickets to the last showing. I watched it every chance I could on my day off, and he made me feel so many emotions. I laughed, I cried, I danced. I just didn't want the film to end. It was, well, epic. It was epic. So I took some photos. I've also downloaded some photos online. Most of these photos are me taking pictures in the theater, and kind of, some of them are blown out just because of the nature of the screen and my camera, my cell phone. But I was just taking pictures of some of the moments that I wanted to remember. And, we're not able to upload any video or anything like that due to copyright, but there are some photos out there online as well. I encourage you to buy this soundtrack. There's a new song out that they've kind of remixed, and it's good from beginning to end. And I do want to say, in the beginning, I already started crying because it was that initial impact of seeing him there singing American Trilogy, and I had the Kleenex, and it was such an emotional roller coaster, but it was wonderful. I loved it. About 70% of the footage I had already seen, but I absolutely loved it, and I recommend you buying it, streaming it. Get a copy of this, get the soundtrack. You will not regret it. It is fantastic. I expected to enjoy it as a fan of Elvis Presley's music. What I didn't expect was that the experience would reconnect me with a memory from my childhood in a way that felt almost physical. I ended up going 4 times. The first showing was February 26th, and the last showing was March 11th. By the time I returned for the last viewing, I knew the performances I wanted to see and the performances I would see. I have watched Elvis for most of my life, memorizing his live performances, studying the way his movements sync with the inflections of his voice, the way he laughs between phrases, and the way the band responds to him. Those memories of those performances are deeply embedded in my brain. But the second viewing wasn't about the performances alone. It was about the interviews. The film opens with Elvis saying that many people have spoken about him and he wants the chance to tell his side of the story. At first, I wondered whether the narration was AI or reconstructed, but then the footage revealed that it was authentic. It was Elvis directly speaking on film. That moment set the tone for the entire documentary. It's his voice, his reflection, his explanation of the life he lived. He talks about his upbringing, about gospel music, singing in the church. He talks about military service, which interrupted his career just as it was exploding. He explains how he had worked relentlessly to build momentum, only to have it halted for 2 years after being drafted. Watching the footage of him being inducted into the Army, his head shaved, carrying his bag, it's impossible not to feel respect for that moment in his life. He also talks about the frustration of the films he was required to make under contract. 31 movies, often formulaic, often repetitive. You can hear his voice and what he says when he wanted more, and yet he rebuilt his career not once, but twice. First, after returning from the Army, and again after the movie contracts ended when he staged the legendary 1968 comeback special. The film also reveals something that has always fascinated me about Elvis. After his concerts, he and his singers would go upstairs to the suite and sing gospel for hours, sometimes 4 to 5 hours. No audience, just for themselves. When the documentary shows Elvis performing How Great Thou Art, you can see J.D. Sumner of the Stamps watching him with disbelief and admiration. These were professional singers who worked with Elvis every night, and yet they were still in awe of his voice. The performances themselves are extraordinary. One of the things that Baz Luhrmann does beautifully is layer performances of the same song across different moments. Rehearsal, studio work, and the stage performance. Seeing Elvis Polk Salad Annie in 3 different contexts reveals the depth of Elvis's musical instinct. Every performance is different, but each one is equally powerful. The moment that changed everything for me happened when the film showed footage of Elvis performing at the Los Angeles Forum. As I said, I gasped, realizing I had been there. When I was 5 years old, I attended an Elvis concert at the Forum in Inglewood, California. I didn't remember every detail of the show, but when the documentary showed the arena floor and the stage configuration, my brain instantly recognized it, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's my Elvis, that's my show, that's my day. I later reconstructed the seating chart and realized where I'd been sitting, in the left mezzanine facing the stage. From that position, I would have seen Elvis enter the stage runway extending into the audience and the entire arena floor. And then the memories started coming back. The opening of the concert began with the theme from 2001, A Space Odyssey. The lights dimmed and the crowd erupted. Then Ronnie Tutt's drums exploded into the opening of CC Rider. The noise was overwhelming. At 5 years old, I'd never experienced sound like that before. The screams weren't just loud. They became something else, like buzzing, vibrating frequency, like an engine overhead or a swarm of bees filling the arena. I covered my ears instantly because it was so intense. On Elvis records, the music is the anchor, the bass, the drums, the voice. They center the experience. But in the arena, the screams surround everything. Elvis's voice seemed distant, while the shrilling crowd just filled the entire building. It was quite overwhelming. Eventually, the crowd settled down enough for me to be able to hear him sing during the more serious songs. But then the screaming started right back up when he started walking to hand out scarves or sing his earlier songs that were usually done in medleys. Someone asked if I wanted to go down toward the stage to get a scarf, and I said, no way. That looked like a bunch of swimming sharks down there, and I was not about to tackle all those women. When the show ended, the audience rushed toward the exits like a stampede. I clutched my concert program and searched for my dad outside. There were no cell phones then, no easy way to communicate that you're meeting in certain places. But when I finally found him, my whole body was buzzing from the experience. my first experience was Elvis, my first concert. Watching the documentary decades later, seeing Elvis walk across the stage in a white jumpsuit with black beadwork, the same style I remembered and I recognized from the forum, it brought everything rushing back that it was my day. The documentary also reminded me why Elvis mattered so much to me in the first place. As a child, I would lie on the floor between two speakers listening to live albums. The documentary also reminded me why Elvis mattered so much to me in the first place. As a child, I would lie on the floor between the speakers listening to live albums, Aloha from Hawaii, Madison Square Gardens, or Live from Memphis. And I studied every breath, every laugh, every vocal run. Music was never just background noise for me or in our home. It was something to inhabit, to memorize, and to feel quite physically. That's why seeing Elvis perform on a theater screen like this still feels extraordinary. Looking at him larger than life, hearing those performances again, I'm reminded how powerful live music can be when it's done by someone with that level of authenticity and passion. And now that I know the film will still be coming out on hopefully Blu-ray or DVD, I plan to get a copy as soon as they come out. The day they come out, it was thrilling and it was exciting. And seeing him there, just so beautiful, so alive, just really shows his humanity. Not only him as a stellar performer and entertainer, but the humanity of him and the look in his eyes. One part really stuck out to me was when he had voiced sadness or frustration, probably more, about not performing outside of the United States. He wanted to go to Europe. He wanted to go to Japan. He never got that chance. And I could just see that sort of longing inside of him. And, well, I got emotional because I felt it was unfair. I felt like if he wanted to go, he should have been able to. And those fans across the pond and those in Japan, they would have loved to see him live in concert. We know the backstory. We know why it never happened, but still to see him really long for that just left me really sad. And, you know, I know that was one of the things that really frustrated him. That and being locked into that film contract. Those two things were really frustrating. And there was some footage of Lisa Marie as a baby. So adorable. I love her. Lisa Marie is 6 months older than me, so that kind of puts it into context. But watching her at home in Graceland was so adorable. I just could not stop smiling and giggling at seeing her there. And of course, we've lost her as well. But this was a beautiful representation of Elvis. I know that Baz Luhrmann definitely is an Elvis fan because he did Elvis right in this documentary. He really did. And I appreciate the effort that he put through on giving Elvis his chance to speak and show us how he felt, what he wanted to do, what his goals and dreams were, and how he loved performing live to an adoring audience. And I was one of them. Guys, I hope you will go see this movie wherever it's streaming, wherever you can purchase it. You won't regret it. Every Elvis fan needs it. And the soundtrack. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you on the next one.